So, welcome back. Last time I introduced y'all to my new bullet hell roguelike, but I said I'll talk about the enemies later. Well, it's about that time. The enemies are pretty simple. The normal ones have a single attack and are pretty easy to defeat. The challenge comes from when you have to deal with hundreds of them at once. Now it's time to meet some of them. Here is the gremlin, the basic enemy. You'll kill thousands of them. They just walk towards you and don't attack. You can kill them in about one hit. Next, the snake. I should add that I have not named these yet, so the names are very basic. He has a gun and he shoots it at you. It's pretty simple. Here is the tough enemy. It's a group of little fluff balls that made a mech suit. Another one that does not attack, but takes a lot more hits to kill. Now these next two you might recognize if you played one of my itch.io games, Grout. The shocker and the shield enemy are coming back. Yippee, reusing content. The shock enemy has an area attack that slowly drains your energy while you're standing in it. And the shield enemy has a shield that blocks your bullets. And finally, here's the minigunner. It rapidly shoots bullets, but gets more accurate the lower its health is. Now that's all the spoilers you get for now. Maybe you get to see some of the newer ones in later videos. But now, let's get into some programming parts of the enemies. I made a whole system to easily create new enemies. Making one should only take me around like an hour, half an hour. That's one of the main things I've been trying to do, is make these modular systems for stuff like player characters, items, and enemies in order to more easily add content. And also, the enemies are the backbone of this game. Take away the events and the items, and you would still have a pretty fun game about just mowing down waves of enemies. My main design principle is making enemies that are fun to fight but simple enough to understand while you're in the heat of fighting infinite enemies. If you fight all these guys by yourself, then it's the easiest thing ever. But since there's hundreds of enemies you're fighting at once, I have to balance it so then the game doesn't become impossible by fighting dozens of overpowered enemies. Like looking at Vampire Survivors for a second, most of those enemies don't do anything. They just walk towards you with increasing health bars. That's one of the main reasons I find Survivor kind of boring. They all have basic enemies. So that's what I'm trying to do, make unique enemies that actually require more thought other than just standing next to them. Cool. For listening to my little rant, you get a new enemy, the poison frog. It moves around and occasionally leaves a poison spot on the ground. Another thing about enemies, you'll constantly be fighting new enemies. Every level will have completely different enemies, so your strategy for dealing with them is always changing. But what about the toughest enemies, the bosses? As stated last time, you have to fight a boss at the end of each level. So I'm trying to have a good amount of bosses so it's not repetitive. I'll make maybe around 30-ish. And I've prototyped 3 of them so far. First is Globzo, this orb guy. Its main gimmick is that it has a chance to teleport whenever you hit it. The chance goes up the lower its health is. It also shoots these big AoE attacks and has a big wall of bullets and a spitting laser right at the end. Second is the Serpentine. He spins around you. He also has 3 heads. He gains a new head at each phase. The first one rapidly fires bullets. The second head will shoot out basic and snake enemies, so then you can regain some of your energy. The third head will shoot a bigger, slower bullet. The Serpentine is the first boss that I made, so it is a bit basic. Might have to give it a rework at some point. And the third one, I'm still working on it. The working title is the Engineer. He spawns turrets that shoot at you, and he also has a shield that you must destroy the little shield totem for before you can damage the boss. He might have some other attacks, but as I said, it's still a work in progress. That's all I'm going to show off today. Still have a bunch of plans for new enemies in the future, so you'll be seeing some new ones in future devlogs. Let me know if you have any ideas of your own for bosses or enemies. Also let me know what y'all think of these longer videos, or if I should stick with short form content. Anyway, see you next time.